Hey, how are you doing? It's Alan here from Looking for Warriors, and I just want to talk quickly about Dr. Tom Cowan. Dr. Tom Cowan, he's so controversial right now. Even mentioning his name could get me banned. He's a bad guy, Dr. Tom Cowan, because he doesn't think the way other people think. And he put forward some very interesting theories. And one of them is that we should be eating meat. And I actually completely agree with him on this, not because I've done any scientific research, not because I've fully researched, although I have done some research. I really like Gary Tabbs, and I like the Atkins and all that kind of stuff. I think that that is correct. I think we should be eating meat. I think we should, but he says anything with a label on it, you shouldn't eat. And I know for myself, I was seriously overweight. I was still a little bit overweight, but I've got a lot better. I was seriously overweight. I was very lethargic all the time. I couldn't walk up a flight. Well, I could walk up a flight of stairs, but it was difficult for me to walk up a flight of stairs. And my teeth were not in good shape. On my feet, I was having, I don't know what it was. It's like cracked heel. And you feel it just wasn't good. Just wasn't good. And I loved bread. I loved cereals. I loved crisp sandwiches. I don't know, if you're not in Ireland, you probably don't know what a potato sandwich is. But it's one of the nicest things you can eat, but it's also really not good for you. And so he says we shouldn't be eating any of these carbs. Now, for me, about 3 or 4 years ago, I completely gave up carbs. Now, I still have a bit of chocolate every now and again. I still have maybe a crisp sandwich sometimes. But for the most part, I've given up carbs. And it completely transformed me. I have energy now like I've never had before. As I said, I found it difficult to walk up a flight of stairs. I run now for half an hour. It's jog. I jog for half an hour. So let's be honest. It's not running. But that would have been unthinkable to me 5 years ago. I work out 3 or 4 days a week, and I just have incredible energy. And even my job is still the same. I'm still in front of a computer, but I have a lot more energy for that job. So just the control subject of one person, which is me, it completely changed. I also had lots of medical issues. I had random pains in my stomach, which I was worried that was going to be some kind of liver or kidney or some kind of organ problem. Completely gone like that, completely gone. This is just me. I'm not suggesting this for anybody. I'm not saying you should do this. You should probably do it. I'm not saying anybody should do this. But my teeth are stronger now than they've ever been. I feel stronger and better than I've ever felt. The problems with my feet are completely gone. I'm running. I'm working out constantly, and I want to work out. And I just feel really good. And there's lots of other areas which I won't go into now, where I am a lot more energetic than I was in the past. And my mood is much better too. My mood is much better. So for me, giving up bread and carbs and chocolate and sugar has been absolutely transformative. And he suggests that we should be doing that. In fact, he suggests we should be eating organ meats, and I have heard that from a number of different people. And I've tried it. I've eaten liver a bit. He suggests we should be eating camel balls. So I don't think I can go that far, but I appreciate that he's saying it. But I've tried to eat liver a lot. I find it difficult. I don't find it that tasty. But I do like nice fatty meat, which is what he suggests we should be eating. A lot of vitamins are in the fat. And the whole thing of us being told that fat is bad, we shouldn't be eating fat. Now, there are some bad fats, like the seed oils that are in mayonnaise is not particularly good for you. That's why for a while I made my own mayonnaise, but I've gone back to store-bought mayonnaise because it's just handier. But I don't eat too much of it because it is inflammatory. I've noticed that. I went to the doctor. I was having difficulty breathing, and I went to the doctor, and he checked me out and he gave me antibiotics, and it went away for a month. Then it came straight back again, and then I realized I was eating a lot of mayonnaise, and I cut down the mayonnaise and went away like that. And his answer was antibiotics, which is fine, you know. I'm sure he was trying to do the best he could, but I don't think it was the right answer. So Dr. Tom Cowan says we should be just eating meat, and lots of other people say that as well. Gary Taubes and loads of other people who are of that opinion right now. My weight has gone right down as well, since not as much as I'd like, but it's down a lot since I stopped eating bread and carbs. Now we're going to get to really controversial bits. And what I'm suggesting is that if Dr. Tom Cowan is correct, then he is today's Nikola Tesla. Nikola Tesla was an absolute genius. He went against everything that everybody said at the time. He saw things that no one else could see. And we know now he was correct because we have an electricity system because of him. Now, Nikola Tesla had a difficult life. He was an absolute genius. Absolute genius. But he had a difficult life, and he died on his own in a hotel room. And the story I heard, which could be completely wrong, it's just the story I heard, was that as soon as he died, people from the CIA or whatever went in and stole all the inventions straight away before anybody else could get to them. But we do know, because we have remote controls, and we have the electrical system, we have telephones, we have the internet. Now you can argue whether he invented all those things, but a lot of his thinking was the basis. Certainly he created the electricity system. We wouldn't have the electricity system we have today if it wasn't for him. And a lot of his thinking was the basis of all of the great things we have in our society right now. And if Dr. Tom Cowan is right about what he says, then he is today's Nikola Tesla. Just in the medical, not in the invention area, but in the medical area, he is today's Nikola Tesla. And he may go down in history as the Nikola Tesla of today. But his thinking is the complete opposite of every other person. All medical, not everybody, there's a few people who agree with him, but it's certainly not conventional thinking. It's not thinking that people want to. I'm sure people don't want him to be getting his message out there. But what he says, and this is just, I'll put a link to his video so you can get the full information. This is just me hearing the information and spewing it back out again, so it may not be perfect. But what he says is there's no such thing as a virus. That's controversial today. It's controversial today. There's no such thing as a virus. The reason that people get sick is because it is your body's defense mechanism. And this is me way oversimplifying, so you want to listen to him say it. But it's your body's defense mechanism from being poisoned and starved. From the cells being poisoned and starved. He gives the analogy of when a tree gets attacked by, I can't remember what he said, let's say beetles. It sends out a signal to the other trees in the area that it's being attacked, and all of the trees secrete poison in order to kill the beetles off. Even the trees that are not being attacked, they all secrete poison. And what he said, when we have a cold and a flu, that is our body secreting poison to get the poison out of our system, because we're starving and poisoning ourselves and killing ourselves. And by starving, what he means by starving ourselves, what I believe he means is that when we eat carbs and sugars, your body's it all turns into sugar in the bloodstream, and your body's got to get rid of that, so it secretes insulin to get the sugars out, so it doesn't kill you. Too much sugar will kill you. So it secretes insulin to get the sugar out of your system. And that's why people become diabetic, because it completely wears out the system if it has to do it all the time. And tries to get the sugar out of the system, but it also gets rid of the nutrients from the food. So the nutrients aren't getting to your cells. And I believe that's why my teeth weren't in good shape. The nutrients weren't getting to the extremities. And my eyes and my feet. The nutrients weren't getting to the extremities. And he says because of that, we're starving certain cells in our body. And not only that, because of our modern technology. Now, I'm saying this by loving modern technology. I love that I'm talking to this phone right now. I love that I have electricity. I'm in Ireland. It can be a cold country sometimes. I love that I can wake up and it's already warm in my home. I love the internet. I love fast internet. I would do anything to speed up my internet over and over and over again. And I love that 5G is coming. I love that 5G is coming because with VR, we're going to need really, we're going to want to do VR with each other so I can actually speak to someone in the States or in the Philippines or in Japan or wherever they happen to be. And we're going to want to do that in VR. And you know what, that's going to require really fast internet. So I love modern technology. I always have. I'll sit on the Apple website seeing if they've released something new. So I love it. But he says that because of our modern, there's lots of waves, we're creating lots of waves, like electricity waves, internet waves, everything else. And that to some extent is poisoning our body. Now, I'm listening to that, I'm saying, Dr. Tom, don't take my internet away, please don't take my internet away. I love my internet. So I'll go with him 100% on the food because I've tested it out myself. And I know for me it works. I'm not suggesting for anybody else, but I know for me it works 100%. Eating mostly meat. And I haven't tested out the organ meats because I can't go that far. But I won't be testing out anything else about electrical waves or internet waves because I can't live without internet. I'd rather be sick and have internet. That's terrible. I'd rather be sick and have internet. So, but his ideas are incredible. Absolutely incredible. And I will link to, but I believe that let's see, because I think 99% of people will disagree with him right now. But I would be very interested that when in 20 years, and 30 years, and 40 years, will he be revered as an absolute genius who brought in ideas that no one else was thinking about at the time. They're very new and different ideas. This has been Alan here from Looking for Warriors. Do me a favor, subscribe to the channel.